over all the games, but I thought I'd go over the ones that were maybe the most interesting or biggest storylines. But before we do that, you and I wanted to have a guest, right? We've talked about for a while that we want to have guests on this show. We don't want to be the only ones talking. But rather than start with a football expert, we saw love occur last Sunday. We saw two people bounded by the Holy Spirit of Cleveland Browns football join their lives together. You may have seen the video of Brown Spider and First Lady saying their vows in a Cleveland Browns tailgate parking lot. And so I said to Billy, you are going to go get us First Lady and Brown Spider. And if you'll listen last week, Billy said, I don't have access to DM people on Twitter because I'm not verified. Billy, nevertheless, you were able to make it happen. How did you do that?
Yeah, I just sent out a normal tweet asking Brown Spider and the First Lady to follow me back so that I could DM them and set things up. And now I'm just waiting on my Tate Rutledge jersey.
That's right.
Oh, you want me to follow through with that?
Oh, I mean, if you're a man of your word.
Okay. All right. I will go to the NFL store and look up and see if you can even purchase a Tate Rutledge jersey. But if I can, when I come back from South Africa, you, Billy R. Sports, will have a Tate Rutledge Detroit Lions jersey. Well, good. I'm glad that's what you want. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk. We taped this earlier, our interview with our two famous Cleveland Browns fans. Okay, Drew, it's that time. It is now time to bring on our first ever live guest to open up, kick off our guests here on NFL Cover Zero, and I think we have the right one, don't you?
Exactly. I can't think of a better first guest, two first guests than the two we have today.
That's exactly right. So we saw a lot of you saw a video from week one of two people who got married in a parking lot for the Bengals-Browns game. It was Brown Spider and First Lady, two famous Cleveland Browns fans, and they have now joined us here on NFL Cover Zero. Congrats to the new couple.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thank you so much.
Of course. So let's just start with the story. You guys met. I think I heard you met a few years ago at a Kansas City Chiefs-Browns game. And Brown Spider, tell me, you didn't notice each other then, but what made you start noticing First Lady when you were ready to make your moves?
Oh, well, so we did meet in Kansas City in January 2020 season. After the Browns lost to the Chiefs, we all went to the Browns backers establishment, and then a few of us said, hey, let's go out to a club. You drove, didn't you? I said, yeah, we can ride in my car. And First Lady was one of the people in the car. We spent several hours together as a group of people, but I didn't remember her in particular. He didn't remember me in particular, but my car's a little weird, so he remembered that later when seeing each other on social media.
Wait a minute, it's not just weird. What does he have in his car, First Lady? I think people need to know.
Well, it is, first off, the car itself is Spider-Man blue, and there are blue Spider-Man hubcaps. There were a bunch of Spider-Man and random stuffies. For anybody with grandchildren, in the back window, there was a Spider-Man hanging from the rear view mirror. So when I seen him on social media recording a video in his car, I immediately remembered the car and said, oh, this is that strange guy that dropped us. We all went to the club together after the Kansas City game and sent him a friend request. And if you go back through both of our timelines, you'll see a couple Twitter kind of beefs back and forth between the two of us on views that we had that didn't quite line up, but it all worked out.
Whoa. Well, you started beefing. What were you beefing about?
Well, not beefing, but you know how Twitter is, and people are strong in their beliefs, and we both were walking a path of self-discovery after relationships and family changes, and we both had very strong opinions about things that we believe. And I could just recall a couple of times I've made some posts from a female perspective, and he had a male perspective that was a little different than mine, and we had a little back and forth. And I won't say what I thought about him at the time, but it all worked out.
We're glad it worked out, but before we learn more about this relationship, I need to know about this spider obsession. I thought it was just a nickname, but you're telling me stuffed animals in the car's decorated like it. Brown spider, how did you even get this spider obsession you have?
I'm an old guy, so when I was a kid, I'd come home every day and watch Spider-Man from the, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. That old cartoon that's from 1967, and I've been kind of obsessed since. I have dreams sometimes of being Spider-Man and doing Spider-Man things. And so back in 2016, First Lady talked about self-discovery stuff. I had gone through a significant separation. All my kids had grown up, and so I didn't have anyone to sort of run behind and be a caretaker for, and I had forgotten who I was. And one of the things that came back into my life was I ended up having a bunch of Spider-Man T-shirts that I collected, and I wore them to work all the time because I'm a psychiatric nurse. They encourage you to wear regular clothing. So all the patients call me Spider-Man, and that's kind of the long and short of that.
So you got what? So you became a Spider-Man obsessed person, and then you ended up meeting your first lady. So you guys, you fell for each other. Now you're both Cleveland Brown fans. Is that it feels like it's a tough existence, is it?
Well, you learn to adjust. Just like I was driving down the street the other day, and I saw a dog with 3 legs, and he was barking at everything. So he wasn't worried about not having 4 legs. So you get used to it, being a Browns fan. You get used to the ups and downs, and you learn to embrace the community and the community of suffering. But broader than that, the community of the tailgates and the away games and running into the same people and, getting to know people. And that's kind of how we met, since 2019. We probably every year was 3, 4, 5 different games that we were at the same time, not knowing each other until we really got to know each other in 2023.
So let's talk about this.
And it's easy. It's easy to be a fan of a team, a fan of a person when everything is going right. Being a Browns fan, you build a lot of resiliency. You learn how to find the silver lining in things that aren't quite always perfect. You learn how to take the blows as life deals them out to you. So it's helped build a character that's made us a perfect couple.
Let's talk about this tailgate. We all saw the one last Sunday. I believe they said it was in the Muni-Lot where you all tied the knot. First Lady, I'll ask you, was it just an automatic decision? We're doing it before a Browns game, or did you consider other venues, maybe doing it at a church, or did you all just know this was the place you had to do it outside the stadium?
Well, the Brown Spider proposed on Father's Day. So between Father's Day and the opening game is 86 days. And we probably waited about 30 days before we made our very first plan. And when we went back and watched the proposal video, because one of our family members recorded it, he actually said after he proposed, we're going to get married in the Muni-Lot. And it just kind of snowballed from there. We both.
Isn't that what every girl wants? First Lady, isn't that what every girl wants, is to get married in the Muni-Lot?
It should be what every girl wants. If she doesn't, if a man is willing to marry you, you get married where he says you're getting married. And he said it was Muni-Lot. Right. That's right up my alley.
So I watched the wedding. People are all in Browns gear. You guys, did you just invite anyone that was at a tailgate that wanted to come?
Well, the way the Muni-Lot is set up is it's iconic. It's huge, and so we had to do some planning. It's first come, first serve. So long story short, I had to buy 14 parking spaces, and I had gone down there a few times to pre-plan how this was going to go. So we basically had about 100 chairs set up for audience and velvet rope around that. We had a stage that was 8 by 24 and 2 feet high so that we were lifted up so that people who were standing around watching could actually see us as well. We had the backdrop there. So things, like you said, it snowballed, and once you get an idea, and, well, we need to do this and we need to do that. But so that's kind of how that went, yeah.
We had 2 different versions of an e-bike. And one version was for VIP access, and we provided lanyards for everybody that was in those 100 seats. And separate from that, everybody in the Muni-Lot was invited. If you could get down to that side of the Muni-Lot to stand around, that's why Charles planned for the stage to lift us up. But we provided 100 seats for our very special family, friends, the Twitter folks, that season ticket members that had never been to the Muni-Lot were able to come down and to watch us. We wanted everybody that's a Browns fan that was in the Muni-Lot, diehard fans, we wanted them all to be able to be a part of our special day because they're a part of our everyday lives from September through January.
Did you do a first dance, and what was the first dance song?
Well, so it rained. The weatherman said it was going to be clear, and it rained from, well, we went into the lot at 5 a.m., and it started raining 5:30, and it rained up until and a little beyond the time we were supposed to start at 9:30. So we weren't able to get the sound set up because, electronics and all that, and we were running around doing that. So we didn't do a first dance. We actually didn't have music. I sung and rapped and sort of hyped the crowd from the microphone. I wasn't able to get the microphone set up.
Okay, wait. Hang on, Brown Spider. You sung and you rapped. What did you sing and rap? I need to know.
Oh, it was, well, let's see. I don't know what you heard about me. And then it's
yes.
But a broad can't
I like it.
Get $1 out of me. I just off the top of my head. 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhymes. I asked the crowd, did anyone know the words to Here Comes the Bride when it was her time to come out? I mean, I just had to ad lib because we didn't have the music.
Because you didn't have sound. Well, I understand. Well, we just got a second. Let me ask you this. Give me your favorite Browns player in history.
Oh, I'm going to go with Bernie, man. Bernie Kosar represents everything it means to be a Browns fan. He chose us. He manipulated the supplemental draft to play in Cleveland. And he fell short so many times, the 3 losses in the AFC Championship game, and he's still a local hero. He's battling some health issues right now, and he cannot be more positive in his outlook. So we just love Bernie Kosar to death here in Cleveland. There's so many Browns players that we love over the years, but Bernie's got to be number one in our hearts, I'd say.
First Lady?
I would second that. This is always a hard question for me because I have depending on the decade, right? I'm going to go with a new school player. Myles Garrett has always been one of my absolute favorite players. He's just such a humble guy. My guy, loving Spider-Man. I love that he loves dinosaurs. He's just a down-to-earth person. I have had a chance to meet him in person one time, and I'm not a starstruck person, but I was absolutely starstruck by Myles Garrett. What he has been able to do with his sacks. He had we didn't win on Sunday, but he had a great game. He got after Joe Burrow. I can't wait to see Joe Burrow's tombstone in Myles Garrett's front yard when Halloween rolls around. So I'm going to go with Myles Garrett for this one.
Well, I hope you guys have a very successful marriage. Where's the honeymoon?
London. The Browns play in London October 5th, I think it is. So we're going to London. We're flying out October 1st. And we're going to kick it around London and eat some weird food. And
it's not that weird.
Do whatever
it's
London
not that
people
different
do.
there. You'll love it. It's not that different. Hey, Brown Spider, First Lady, very cool. You ended up on ESPN. Now you're on the NFL Cover Zero podcast. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you having us. Thank you. Anytime you want us to come back, let us know. We'll make an appearance.
Go Browns.
Do it. Thank you. That's a beautiful story, I have to say. It really is. A beautiful story of love finding its way in the Cleveland Browns parking lot. What do you think about the Spider-Man car? I kind of liked his explanation of it. He goes, you know what? Things weren't great in my life at the time. I turned to Spider-Man.
At first I thought, car full of spider stuff, that's different. But then his explanation of I kind of found my inner child, and he mentioned being a nurse where they encourage him to dress up like that. So I love that he's all in on the spider gig and has made it a bit of his persona.
If you were to take a superhero and turn your car into an homage of one of them, which one do you think you would do?
My favorite superhero... Are Ninja Turtles superheroes? Because I was a big Ninja Turtle guy growing up. Maybe I could have some kind of pizza car. I had like a pizza shooter. Maybe if I could get some kind of Ninja Turtle pizza set up, I would really be killing it.
I like that question. Are Ninja Turtles superheroes?
I guess they are, right?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, they're not
Why not?
part of the Marvel verse that's taken over the world, but that's what I grew up on.
I'm going to say, I've gone to the tape. I'm going to say that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are superheroes. And I think if there's one thing women would like, it is someone who drives around in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle car.
Cowabunga, dude. I might even do this anyway. This isn't a podcast bit. I might dress up my Toyota Highlander to be the Ninja Turtle car.
There was a time that the only 4 artists in history I could name were Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donatello. And I actually think Raphael was the big winner there, because I think if not for the Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't think anybody would remember the art of Raphael. Leonardo da Vinci, he had his own, people know him, Michelangelo, even Donatello, people might, Versace sort of took his name later. But I think Raphael owes a lot of his current, when I go to Europe and I see a Raphael painting, I'm like, cowabunga, dude. There you go. So I think he owes a lot of thanks to the Turtles.
Yeah, there was also a time when I could only name 4 artists because of the Ninja Turtles, and it's right now, currently, they're still the only 4 I can name.
You can't, wait a minute. Come on. You can't name any other famous artist? Let's see. Can you give me 3? Give me 3 more famous Drew Franklin endorsed artists.
The 5th Ninja Turtle would have been Pablo or Picasso, because he's an artist, right?
That's true. Picasso should have been. Well, Pablo would have been a good name for a turtle.
Would have been a great turtle. Maybe they can.
He wasn't from the Renaissance. So they probably left him out for that reason. But who else? Can you do 2 more?
Banksy. Does Banksy count? I love Banksy. Big Banksy fan. Kind of like a Ninja Turtle.
I think Banksy's younger than Banksy is younger than the Turtles, though. Unfortunately, he does live in the sewer, though.
Yeah, I'm onto something here.
Well, actually, I don't know if he lives in the sewer. He paints in the sewer. That's be rude to say he lives there. Anyone else? I'm giving you've got 6.
That's
about the guy that does the tomato can. Do you know the Campbell soup can?
Yeah, that's Warhol, Andy Warhol.
Bam!
Look at that. Donatello's still the best.
Impressive.
Still the best.
Very impressive. Salvador Dali. That would be the next one you could have put in. He did a lot of, I think he's Spanish.
What about Bob Ross?
Yes, that counts.
I'm going to take, I'll take Bob Ross. All right, let's talk about some games this week. We'll start Thursday night. Commanders and Packers.